Hi patrons, welcome back. Thanks so much for being a subscriber. Today we have for you a simple recipe for how to make an herbal hair rinse. This is very quick and easy kitchen magic. It can also be thought of as glamour magic. And of course there are a lot of different ways that you can use herbs to make hair rinses. And what really makes it magical are the intentions behind what you're doing. You can always just include these ingredients in a completely mundane way and it wouldn't be considered a magical working at all, but the intention behind it is what turns it into spell work. So as always, you just want to cleanse your space and your tools and set your intention as you're working. What we have here is just a bowl of water that I pre-boiled because I didn't want to waste the time to do that on camera, but that's all you need is just boiling water. How much is based on how long your hair is. So I have pretty long hair, so this is a good amount of water for me. But if you have shorter hair, you can use less water. And then you want to add some rosemary to it. I do recommend getting the rosemary like this, that is in the sprigs. This is in the produce section of the grocery store, because when you use the rosemary that comes in like the spice bottles that's all split up that just has like these sort of leaves on it, they can break apart. They're super small, they get tangled. If you have long thick hair like I do, it's harder to rinse them out. Not impossible, but more difficult, so I like to use the sprigs like this. So all you do is just put them in the water like this. I'm using 2 today. And you let that steep for a while. So basically what you're doing is making a tea. Rosemary, like we talked about in the salt protection bowl video, is good for purification. So this is a good hair rinse to use. We talked about purifying yourself before undertaking spell work. So if you are going to take sort of a more magical shower, then this is a good hair rinse to use while you're in there as extra purification. It's also associated with Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. And as for its mundane properties, it's also good for split ends and hair growth. So we are making something that really works here. And then you want to add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, which isn't really magical. It just lowers the pH of your scalp, which closes the cuticles, so it eliminates frizz, and it also stimulates hair growth. So just adding a tablespoon of this. You can add more or less. I usually go with a tablespoon. I find that's good for me, but it does smell. So I think we all know what apple cider vinegar smells like at this point. So if you're sensitive to it, then start small. And then you just want to let that steep for a few minutes until it is room temperature. So while you are letting this cool down, this is a good time to really relax, meditate, set your intentions, just sit quietly with the bowl. I know that a lot of people out there struggle with longer meditations. For Tara, it doesn't come as naturally for her. So this is a good time. There's a set time limit. When this is cool, you can be done meditating. So if it is something you struggle with, then this would be a good place to sort of start. So once it is sort of room temperature, I like to add rose quartz. This is a little sort of heart-shaped rose quartz that I have, tumbled stone. And quartz are hard crystals, so they are fine in water, but I never want to put anything in boiling water, so I don't add it until it is cooled down. But rose quartz is obviously another one that is good for self-love. It's good for love in general, but when we're talking about this sort of hair rinse and going with sort of a self-love, beauty, ritual, glamour magic thing, that's what this would be for. So I also like to add that then once the water is cool, which this is. And then you just take this into the shower with you, and you just start, if you have longer hair, I start by just dunking the ends of my hair into this after I've, wash condition. This is like the last step. I just dunk the ends into it, and then I pretty much just take the bowl and pour it over my head. But that's it. It is a super, super simple recipe. And then of course you can take this out, rinse it, reuse it, of course. Never like to waste anything. hopefully that helps give you a little idea of an idea that you can use for glamour magic. If you have ever tried this or use any other herbs in your versions, please let me know. I'm always looking to try new things. I think it's a lot of fun and just a quick and simple way to add more magic into your daily life. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for subscribing.